Yay. Okay, you guys, I am really excited. So feel free to take notes, but this is an open dialogue because as you all are kind of like the guinea pigs for the Aspiring Stars group, this was the first step to launch into something for our specific group. And because you guys are the guinea pigs, I want to get your feedback and kind of brainstorm some things with you because you guys are the ones who said yes. You're the ones who are continuing to show up and put in the work. And I am loving the energy that you guys bring. And I count myself so lucky to be surrounded by you. And, I was praying right before this started that, God would speak clearly through me and that you guys would be able to hear my intent and my heart. And that also you guys would be open and comfortable to brainstorm and talk this out as well. So anyway, I'm just so thankful for you guys. So with Aspiring Stars, it's that 11-ish week program. You have homework every week. The intent is to be action based and to grow your group and to be intentional with what you're doing because you want this as a business. There are so many people who want this as a hobby, and that is awesome. We need them to. We love them to. We want them to. And this is intentionally for those who are working their business, right? So you said yes, you've signed on, you are still here. We're in what week? Are we in 5 or 6?
Five.
Five.
I think it's
Well, that's what
five.
I thought too. Great. So we're almost halfway through this thing, and you guys are still showing up and doing the things, and it is so cool. So my vision with this was having this open to a larger group of people, knowing not everybody was going to complete it because life seasons happen. But the intent with this was to have a next step that was more of an elite, exclusive, inner circle type thing, but exclusive from the standpoint that it's action based and anybody has access to this, but it's exclusive because it's available to those who are actually doing the work, right? So anybody could do this, but those who are currently doing it would be invited and involved and invested. And so here's kind of what my thought process was around this because we've already kind of stuck with that Rise Together theme. I love that name, the Rise Together. And so I'm thinking that's what that like next step inner circle might be called is the Rise Together group or crew or something. The name isn't important, but it is going to be continued with action-based steps. So because it is a next level, a next tier, I don't necessarily want it to be title based because a lot of people who are doing the work and putting in the work, you're at varying levels of your business. And so I don't want that title to be the limiting factor for a lot of people. So my thought process is making it action based and either rolling quarterly or like in 3 months, if you meet these qualifications, you're in. So that's where I'm kind of like, okay, is it based off of quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, or like rolling quarterly? Does that make sense? So like we have the rolling 12 months. Once you hit it in 3 months, you would be in. So it's very clearly like January, February, March versus like January or February or March, whenever you start. So that is a tertiary thing that can be decided later. But in my mind, as leaders, as people who are growing your team, I feel like a requirement would be a PRV requirement monthly and a recruiting requirement quarterly. So I don't know if you guys have spoken much with Jen Audette or listened to any of her trainings, but her main thing that she has spouted from pretty much day one is 2,000 PRV a month, 2 recruits a month, and you are going to get to director in 2 years, which honestly, if you're doing that work, it can happen so much quicker. But 2K a month and 2 recruits a month is kind of what my thought process is. But instead of making the recruit requirement monthly, I think it should be quarterly because sometimes we have months in our business that are just not great for recruiting, not great for sponsoring, not great for whatever. So I'm thinking 2,000 a month and 6 recruits quarterly.
6 recruits quarterly.
Yes. So that would be a lot. But so again, part of this is going to be getting feedback. Does that seem doable?
Anything's doable if you want to work hard enough for it. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, I'm just gonna kind of take the devil's advocate here
Okay.
because I work 3 jobs. I
Yep.
don't always have the ability to be able to do that.
Okay.
I am constantly online, constantly talking to my team, constantly um, talking to new people, texting new people now, which is out of my comfort zone. But I really I don't want to say no because I like a good challenge, but I also don't want to be removed if I can't do 6 1/4.
Okay. Would that push you to work your business differently, knowing that it would be a qualification that if you don't hit it 1/4, you know that you could hit it the next quarter?
Yeah, like I said, I like a good challenge. So
And okay, so my next question is then, how many recruits have you sponsored in the last, since starting our Aspiring Stars? How many people have you brought in?
one in a reinstatement.
And reinstatements count. I just want to be clear with that because if somebody is wanting to come back in their business and working their business, that absolutely counts. So you've had two in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you asking all of us, Ariel?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all just staring at each other. Hey. I have I done one or two? I think I've done two, and I have another one I'm talking to right now.
Okay.
I've done one and I have a girl who wants to reinstate. She just has to wait a little bit more time for her like time from when she fell off. And then I have another girl that was on probably a year and a half ago that I've been talking to about joining back and I asked her to go to World Tour with me. So maybe if, they finally go to an event, they can like see, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it really can change your mindset. So
Okay. So would something like 4 1/4 feel more attainable and less defeating? Because I was watching everybody's faces too. Edie and Vic, obviously I can't see your faces. It's asking for passcode, Sony's saying. It was 8675309.
8 6.
I know. I saw that the other. That was so funny.
Yeah. No, I did it because who's gonna forget that, right?
the younger generation.
We all
Oh, well then that sucks for them and we need to, you know what? If they don't know it, that's not us.
It's hilarious.
Okay, we'll see if that works for her.
Well, Ariel, you were asking like maybe four would be better. So I understand what Deb is saying too, because like, I think probably all of us pretty much have like full time, sometimes two jobs, taking care of parents, whatever there might be. So sometimes those things happen. You have a wedding for a month, you have all these crazy things.
Mhm.
What if we set the bar high and say it's 6, but also taking into consideration that you know everybody, I'm always a big one for setting the bar higher than I think I can do, because then when I hit a number I thought I could do, I'm like, I even have more, I'm even a little more surprised and like, oh, I knew I can do this then every time I might set the bar a little higher. But then maybe just focusing a little more on ideas and helping each other with that recruiting, because it seems to be that recruiting is the hardest thing for everyone. I really do think that recruiting is the hardest thing for everyone. And I don't know about Deb, but I work by myself all day long. Like I don't see people. 40 hours a week, I am at a place I don't talk to anybody. And sometimes that makes it hard because then I have to create all of my things outside of that. And then if life gets in the way. So maybe like saying, yes, we all want to shoot for 6, but four quarterly would, if you're not going to get kicked out if you're doing the work and you're doing things, then maybe supporting each other and helping each other to get to that 6. Say, cool, you hit 4. Next time I know you can do 6. Oh no.
So my thought process with that is setting the limit so that we don't have to flex or bend, because if you don't meet that limit, you're out for that quarter. And so I want to set it so that it is a challenge, right? But it is also a reasonable challenge. You're not going to look at it and think, well, shit, I'm out for this time because I just couldn't, for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
So would 4 be more feasible in a quarter, or does that feel like Tell me your thoughts.
4 is more obtainable than 6.
Okay.
Realistically, I think is the vibe here.
Okay.
I agree with Lindsay. I'm kind of sweating a little bit. I'll be honest with you. So, and it's not a hot flash this time. So, uh, sorry, sorry guys. Lindsay's like, oh God, here she goes. Um, I am a little nervous. I'll be honest with you. Just because, like Jennifer said, we have, you know, I travel back and forth a lot, and it looks like not getting political, but with the new political things coming, I will be continuing to do that. So um, it's a stretch, but if everybody's in it, I'm in.
Okay. Okay. Here is another alternative I was thinking too. While you were talking, and I see Vic's comment in the chat about she hasn't gotten anyone yet, but she is still talking to people about it. The conversations are very important too. So maybe we lower that recruiting number, but maybe we have a conversation amount as well.
Oh, I love that.
If you're not talking to
Yes.
people, of course you're not going to get that 4. So what would a reasonable conversation amount? Let's break it down, because if the recruiting is quarterly, do we want to break that down for conversations per month or per week? What would be more like in your mind? What is something easier to look at? Okay, I have to do this per month. I have to do this per week.
Per week for me.
Yeah, probably per week.
Okay.
Deb, what do you think?
I like that per week because if I don't, I can't procrastinate. So if I know I have to do something, I will get it done and get it done ASAP. Um,
If
I
you have a
just I
month, you can just drag it on. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Awesome. Okay. So I see Edie with the conversations too as well. So, all right. So with that said, what is a challenging number that makes you like kind of want to pee your pants a little bit when you think about how many conversations you need to have a week?
I'd say at least one a day. That I feel like one a day is, I mean, you could have more than that, but I think at least one a day.
So 7 a week, or are we talking a 5-day work week?
I'm talking 7.
Okay, lucky number 7. Anybody else hate that idea? 7
Uh-huh.
conversations you hate? Does it make you clench your cheeks a little?
Well, it's just because I don't think that's realistic for me. Because when I'm writing grants, I cannot take the time out. I've got to get those grants done.
Okay.
And if I'm on a plane, yeah, I can talk to my neighbors, and I do. But if I'm doing route or if I'm doing 2 of my jobs, there's no way.
Okay, so should we do it based on a 5-day work week? Because
Yes.
I know I take the weekends off. So
Yes.
if we're basing on that, 5, and then anything above and beyond is like a self high five moment.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 sounds good.
Okay, so 4 recruits per quarter and 5, and this would be, we'd have to figure out where we show this. Do you know what I mean? So we have that group chat. It could probably be that still afterward. But I feel like after this homework cycle is done, I envision this being more of a crew who we work together, we collaborate, we are leading together. Because I didn't even finish my list of what I am envisioning this, because you guys are already engaged in the group and I love that. And I would love to see that continue because we are stronger together. And to be honest, for the longest time, I felt like I had to be present every day and I had to do the things because nobody else was going to. And if you remember that belief triad, I had low belief in myself, but also in everybody else. And I didn't realize that. So that's why I was asking you guys to step up and start posting and sharing things, because I freaking believe in you. You guys are leaders. You are knowledgeable. Doesn't matter how new you are. You know something that all of us don't know. Like there is something in your brains. There's probably a lot of things in your brains that we don't know. And you have so much value to share. And so me asking you to do that wasn't a, well, I don't want to do it anymore. It was, I want to breathe belief and life into you guys. Because I know that you also in turn will breathe belief and life into our group. And so my vision for Nomad is, and you guys can totally opt out at any point. There are plenty of leaders in our group who choose to do their own thing, some of them together, some of them separate, and that's fine. It's like that is their choice. But I feel like we've got this really awesome vibe going with us, and I would love to see that. And if you choose not to, again, it will not hurt my feelings. You just need to let me know. Because I'm a 9 and I'm going to try and make everybody happy as possible. So anyway, if you don't know your Enneagram, you should look into that. But I am a peace maker, and so I am working on not doing all the things just to appease, just to make sure they get done, right? So anyway, I would love it if we could have this collective leadership group where we are leading from the front. We are showing what we're doing and how we're doing things. And if it means like we don't assign days or things, those were just my ideas of ways to like, okay, if you don't know what to post or how to post, here's an idea.
Like,
But
get you engaged.
yeah, but I don't want you guys necessarily to feel like, okay, I post on Wax Wednesday, so I can't post on Friday. I don't want that to be the case. Like if you have something that you want to share, something that you are working on, something you are really confident about, share. That is what the group is for. It is such a wealth of knowledge, and I think people are sometimes intimidated by a group with hundreds of people that they don't know. And so they're just like little flies on the wall, trying to just, you know what I mean? So my vision is also to be a cohesive, supportive culture. When somebody asks a question, it would be awesome if more than just one person answered, or like there's new people, let's all rally and welcome them. It's like this vision of partnership. Did we ever talk about the Josh Coates, the players versus the fans in the stadium?
Yes.
Yes.
So you guys are the players. And I know there are other players out there. We just need to show them what's possible. And that's what I envision too with this Rise Together, because everybody is invited. Everybody can do this if they want. But it's okay that there's fans too. We need those fans. So we need to make sure that we encourage and support them, like meet them where they are, but let the players know that there's another option too. So I also envision like the growth plans and check-ins and continued work. In addition to like these other qualifications, knowing that we are continuing to do the work as we rise together. So, okay, so you might also be wondering, like, what are the benefits of being in this? Like, why would I want to achieve that next level? What's in it for me? And so my thought process too is exclusive retreats where just the inner circle, the Rise Together crew, gets to do exclusive retreats because they're putting in the work, they're doing the things, they're being intentional about getting there. And we want this to be a place that people want to be. They see what we're doing and they know it's not title based, and they know that they can get there. They know that they can do it based off of their work. So I also think like an exclusive monthly call would be awesome. And I'm thinking with other superstar directors or other rock star leaders, other home office people to pour into you. Speaking of, we have a call next Tuesday. I need to post about it with Sarah Walker from home office. A couple other of my friend groups and we're all piling together to do this. So I'm going to make an event in Nomad. Maybe just remind me. But the exclusive trainings and things like that to help breathe life into you as you are doing these elevated things in your business. And exclusive coaching, whether it's group coaching on the monthly call, so you can all learn from each other. Because I am a certified life and business coach, I do have the skill set to be able to help you. And I haven't been offering that. I feel like I should be, because I know what value it provides with the questions I ask. I'm not saying that I'm the be all end all or that I am like it when it comes to it, but I know how to ask the right questions to get you guys thinking. And so whether it's exclusive one-on-one coaching or that exclusive monthly Zoom and like somebody volunteers and we coach through a problem, because oftentimes people learn something through somebody else's stories and the coaching. So I feel like that could be a benefit too, because I want to pour into the ones who are here and working and wanting to do the things, right? So I feel like those would be the benefits. And if there's something else that you think could be offered as this, at this elite exclusive level, let me know your ideas. But those are just what I'm thinking. Like, I know how valuable retreats can be. Deb knows how valuable retreats can be. Those exclusive calls where you are poured into and help you get help walking through things in your life. I know how valuable those can be, and I think that would be a really awesome benefit to this Rise Together group.
I think that this group right here has a great connection. We all have, we can give each other, we can be supportive, we can hold each other accountable, but we can also be supportive for each other. And I think that what you're proposing is a really good thing. And I don't know about you guys, but I think getting together once a month or even every 2 weeks is just it gives you what you need, that energy, that flow. Because I'll be honest with you, my group on that we're doing our accountability groups,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah,
Same.
yeah. So there's one person that but I have to bring it up all the time. Hey, has everybody done their homework? Hey, is everybody okay? Is everybody out there? So I feel more accountable to this group than I do to that group, just to be honest with you. And I know you all hold me to a higher standard in this group than they do.
I'm really bummed to hear that a lot of people have just fallen out. And there's other people in our Nomad crew who have fallen out. They just weren't able to complete the homework and do the things, even with like grace and extension periods. And so it just stinks, but I'm really thankful that we have this. So that was a really good point. Thanks for sharing that, Deb.
Deb, how long have you like been like a consultant or in the Nomad page per se?
I actually first started getting to know Ariel when I moved to Texas because Michelle said, "Oh, she does these weekly things, so, or the weekly calls." I think I really started being active with Nomad in probably February or March.
I was gonna say I get where Ariel's saying like she felt like she wanted to assign like things to people because I've been a part of Nomad page probably for like 3 or 4 years. And to be honest, she really was like the only one showing up all the time. And so I've noticed just in this last year alone, like with the new people coming in, like you, Jennifer, EDO is involved, you know what I mean? But everyone that has like come into the group with you guys or under you guys, even Michelle like showing up a little bit more, I can like see a lot more engagement and it not just being like Ariel. Even though like she asked, I can see it. Because there's been
That's
so
awesome.
many people that are in the group that have been in there forever that don't say one word.
Well, I know that with Michelle, Michelle is very introverted. I mean, you have no idea. She is in a shell introverted. Vic's kind of the same way, so that's why you won't see her face, but you see her on here. I love you, Victoria. I'd love to see your beautiful face. Uh,
We
sorry,
make the camera on sometimes.
yeah, it's grandma guilt. Sorry. Um, but and Lindsay, I understand what you're saying because when I first got on, I noticed that the people would change. There was a few of you who were a constant. But I think now that people, I really think the economy helped people see I've got to build this business. And I don't know why people are building this, but I know that's become my why. Um, and I really think that the people coming in are really business minded. And I know you always have been, Linz, and Jennifer. I know I can feel that from you whenever we're together. So I think that having a business minded group is so beneficial. Besides having people in there that just want to, oh, I did this week, or I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do this, or I think it's I saw that. I think it's very helpful not to be distracted.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
another reason I've stopped like sh showing people other groups. If they find them on their own, that's fine, but those other groups can be such a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Such a distraction. And so I would love our Nomad to be a one-stop shop. I know that's not totally possible because there's like other flyers and things that people share that they're so generous and willing to share their things and like their outlines for things. I love that so much. So I love that those other groups exist, but I personally have just stopped showing people those groups because it's a rabbit hole. And it's so easy to get sucked in. And some of them have, because there's thousands of women in there, there's so much drama. And
Oh
like
my gosh.
that distracts so much from being business minded, like Deb said. I love that term. That this is the business minded group because we know what's possible. We've seen what's possible. Like there is evidence of success that what you guys are doing because of aspiring stars is working. So I think showing others what's possible because of what we have seen, because of our evidence of success, like it can go a really long way showing what's possible. Okay, so what do you think a PRV monthly, a PRV goal monthly would, a good one would be?
So
What's reasonable?
I'm gonna say this one. I think 500. I've always felt like, and this is for me personally, like I was always shocked that 500, it was so low. I was like, $500 is where we get paid at a title. Like that's just, I felt personally it was very, very low. I think that, so I don't ever want to get below 2000. That's my personal, but that isn't for everybody because maybe sales isn't, your somebody's strong suit. So I would like to say like 1,000 for a group of people who really want to turn this into a their business, but that isn't always doable for everybody because of time frames or whatever. But I would always be the first. For me, it's 2,000. That's where I set my bar. I know that some people really just struggle with 500, like really struggle with it. So I don't know if we should just stay. I don't know. What do you girls think about?
I can say that sometimes getting to that 500 is a struggle for me. I don't work multiple jobs, but I also don't really get out of my house much or often. So I do a lot of my communicating text or online, which is something, I mean, I am trying to get out more, but to push it to like 1,000, I mean, it would push me more out of my comfort zone. And I do set my little thing in my workstation for 1,000 just to like push myself. But I mean, yeah, I've definitely had over 1,000 PRV before, so it's not impossible.
But that
Another
would be
thing I
enough of
think
a
we
challenge.
Yeah. Deb, what do you think?
well, I'm thinking, we're in the time right now of we are going to hit sales. It's Christmas time. It's holiday time, and they've got some amazing things coming out. But what happens in February or March when they don't have so much? Wow, look at this! And they're always coming out with new and exciting things. But I really think that we need to look at the down times when our customers aren't going to buy so much, just because they don't have the snow globe coming out, or they don't have the Harry Potter things coming out. So I think we really need to be, mine's set at right now it's at 1,800. I need to put it back to 2,000. Um, yeah, it's like sorry, Penny's listening in. She's my partner, and she just said, after Christmas buying remorse, we have people that, look at their credit cards and go, oh my God, I have to pay this. So are we going to be able to get the sales of 2,000 every month? That to me, it's my goal too. I mean, but it doesn't always happen. And I can't continue to spend to make that happen. And I have done that in the past, and I can't do that anymore. So I think we need to set something realistic. I think 500 for people. I mean, Vic, she has a lot of customers. She's still working on building a team. I don't know. And Sonia, I really don't know everybody's, but I look at what Lindsay says, and she's not able to get out of her house. She has kids. So I think we need to be more realistic. I mean, I would love for all of us to get 2,000 or 2,500. That means we'd be on our way to Greece, you know? So, but I think 500 would be realistic to start with. And then as we all continue to grow, we can always
Yeah, the
raise.
motivation or, you got there, so now, push yourself for here. Maybe build it up as you hit it. I see what you're saying.
I have to be totally honest, you guys. 500 is not going to cut it for me because that is the minimum for a reason. Like it is a minimum for like people who are in a season who cannot, or it is a minimum. So I am more inclined to do something like 1,000 versus 2,000 because that is intentionally pushing and growing. But I'm also wondering, how we did the recruits versus conversations. What if we do 1,000 and X amount of parties? Because we are a party plan business. When we party with other people as hosts, we meet new people, which allows for more conversations, which would so easily check off that 5 per week. And when we offer more parties, naturally that will likely bring more PRV. There are going to be parties that flop. That is just, that is the nature of life, right? So, what would you guys think of 1,000 PRV and either 3 or 4 parties a month?
3 parties?
3?
I think that, okay, here's what I think. I do, and it's super weird. I know everybody's different, but like I, for some reason, just do tons and tons of Facebook parties. Like I had 3 last week. I think I already have 2 or 3 this week. Sony's tons of basket parties. Like, so maybe I don't see why everybody couldn't do a minimum of like 1 party a week of some sort. And then whatever ones we're all good at, let's all help each other and go, hey, I'm really great at this one. So here's how I'm doing it. And everybody try that maybe like for a week. Like we all go, okay, we're going to try this one person's method for 1 week and try to book that one kind of a party for a week and then help each other with that one. And then the next week, what one are you really good at? If it's, a flower party or a bag party or whatever, and maybe pick a specific kind of party and do one a week for everybody. And you know what I'm saying? Is that making sense? Like we pick one, have one person that's like, here's where I'm rocking this. And then we all try to work at that and have that one party, or have somebody at least book that party, up and coming or something. I mean, I'm all for more than 1 party a week, but I know that's not always everyone.
I love the idea of sharing how you find success with parties. Alternatively, what if everybody takes like we do 1 week of how to party and everybody trains like one day during that week. Like if you find success with the online parties,
Yeah.
and like somebody else finds success with the home parties, maybe 1 day a week you just like you go live 1 day in a week and like we're learning how to party this week. Here's how we party. So we're not just talking to each other, right? We're helping breathe into the community.
Okay.
And then that will be available to us as well. We can choose what we do. But if like all of those online parties are working for you, maybe you're in a season where trying something new is not realistic. So I don't want to necessarily say we have to try this kind of party, but I love the idea of sharing because we don't know what options are. Like you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the idea of sharing in Nomad, going live, talking about what you do for parties. It does. Okay. So Lindsay, I know we just said 3 parties, but does 1 party a week feel doable, or and this is open to everybody, or would 3 parties a month, so that's 9 parties a quarter, would that feel doable?
Yeah, I'm okay pushing for 4.
So 1 a week. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it would be like 4 a month. You break it up however you want. Maybe 1 week you're like, this is the week to party. Everybody else, every other week sucks.
Yeah, you're gonna have shitty weeks. I mean, it's just gonna happen.
You're
It's
gonna
just
have
life.
shitty. And so here's my thought process too with doing this quarterly. Okay, so if 1 month, if we're doing like a party minimum, maybe you meet the PRV minimum, but not the party, whatever. Maybe in the quarter, you have made up for it somewhere. And that's what I'm the same lines with recruiting, right? So if one month you just have really awesome customer follow-up, but you don't have other parties, I don't want the party number to be a limiting factor because you're getting the PRV, but because we're a partying planning company and that's how we meet new people, having that quarterly amount, does that seem more feasible?
I think quarterly is better than weekly because if you look at it, you got, okay, 4 a week times 4.
No, it was going to be for a month.
Oh, for a month.
Yeah, so like
Oh, okay.
once a week. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
but
like,
honestly, however you can do it, if you do 4 parties a month, that's 12 parties a quarter. Uh,
right.
so 1,000 PRV per month
like
and
four
12
parties a month,
and
right?
12 other host parties a quarter. Does that seem doable?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very doable.
Okay. So 12 parties a quarter, 1,000 PRV a month, 4 recruits per quarter, reinstatements count, 5 conversations per week.
How many was that for new consultants? Sorry.
4 recruits a quarter. And part of that too, like something else that's going to be a future conversation. I just want to get your brains thinking about it. How do we best onboard people? So I've got like the Nomad website and I have Nomad boards, which I would like to make it more scrollable, more user friendly. But what if we had a collective training program that we brainstorm, we put together that is easy, simple, and comprehensive that we could just say, hey, here's a training our group has put together for you as you start. I am here along the way as your sponsor, but our group is here to support you. What would you guys think about doing something?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Yes.
Because then that takes pressure off of us each individually, but it also
Mhm.
allows them to know that they have a large group supporting them. And it's not just like, oh, I have this one person that I know that I can go to. But if we do videos, like all of our faces are going to be there. We're already engaging in the group. They know that they have other people in their network.
Plus, I love that one too, Ariel, because say I onboard somebody and we're good friends or whatever, but maybe they resonate better with Deb or they resonate better with some, then they know because we all work together that,
Mhm.
hey, they can reach out to this other person because we're all still in the same group if they just feel like maybe that person could help them in some way that I'm not, or vice versa. Maybe I could reach out and say, hey, I feel like this person, maybe you could explain this better to them. Or I think that it because that's exactly what Sensi is like all generosity. And that's what we should all be doing for everyone. That's what you do, and I mean, like, just, I think I love that idea.
Awesome. Okay, so that's just something we can put a pin in for right now because I know
Yep.
we're in a busy season. And so maybe we revisit that like January-ish. But maybe if you have ideas as you're bringing on new people and onboarding them, maybe they have questions that come up. Maybe you find something, just maybe have a separate note in your phone or a notebook. Write down things that are working or are not working. I think it's really important to also make sure we know what doesn't work, at least maybe for you in an instance, right? Okay. This is we're already at 45 minutes, you guys. I want to respect your time because I appreciate you so much. So, um, my vision for this is starting at the beginning of the year, and because that'll get us through the aspiring stars, all the homework, all the trainings, and then we'll kick off the year fresh. But we are going to open it to anybody who can meet those qualifications. Yeah.
Do they now? I have a question because there's going to be people that can say, "Sorry, I'm regressing." There's going to be people that say, "Oh, I can do that," and have never done it. Um, I just don't want this group to become one that, how do I say this gently? That is using people's time and abusing people's time, not using people's time.
Okay, this I love this because some people are just dumpster fires and they don't bring to the group. They suck. Not dumpster fires. Vacuums.
I love that term though, dumpster fire.
I
I
meant
think we all can relate at times to
yes.
that.
Yes, sometimes I am a dumpster fire and I get that. So what I'm thinking is because you guys are doing the work for aspiring stars, you are the initial group in quarter 1. But for everybody else, it starts on January 1st. So they have January, February, and March to complete those requirements, as do you to stay in. And then uh, uh, April 1st would be day 1 of quarter 2 for everybody because they don't know about this yet, right? We're announcing it that, okay, starting this quarter, if you hit this, boom, 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 you're in. Okay, so that circles back to the question really quick of do we do it rolling quarterly? So they hit January, February, March, they're in it for April. They hit February, March, April, they're in it for May. Or is it quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4?
I I like letting, what if we sign somebody and they're just on fire and we really want to bring them in? You know, like Sony, when I signed her, she just took off and ran with it within like a month. She started out, and when we signed her, she was already certified because we flipped her party. I'd like to be able to roll people in if we can, if that's okay with
I like
everybody
that too.
else.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that? Okay, that was my
Yeah.
thought too.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Um, cool. Okay. And if there's anything else that you can think of that would be a really cool exclusive, like I would work to get in that group to earn that benefit. If you can think of anything else, doesn't have to be right now, let me know and we can talk about how that might work. Drop it in our group chat. And we can go from there. Gosh, you guys, this has me so excited and I am so grateful for you guys. And I love that you are being honest with me, right? This is like a big vulnerable moment, like, hey, that's not doable. This is doable. I so appreciate your honesty because everybody's at different places with their goals and their life. And I am so thankful that you guys are all willing to engage and work and have conversations and do the hard stuff and then be held accountable, right? Yes, we are friends. But we have that accountability too. So we're friend and accountability buddies in this group. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. I am so excited. You guys have me feeling so hopeful and looking forward to the future of our group. And it gets me so jazzed. So we'll talk about when we're gonna do like the how to party. Maybe that'll be next week. I don't know if you guys are vibing that. I'm gonna post about that event for next week with Sarah Walker. There will be a recording if you can't make it. And if you guys have any additional questions, I want to be cognizant of your time. If you have any additional questions, drop them in our group chat, and that's where I'll drop the recording too. So anybody like, I think it's just Bobby and Deborah who weren't able to make it. Who am I missing? I think that's it. I'll drop it in the group chat so everybody can listen and re-listen, and maybe if you give it a re-listen, watch it on like 2 times playback speed. But if an idea comes to mind, let us know. And I so welcome your input and your feedback, and I'm so thankful for you guys. That's all.
Can I ask one question real quick before we leave? You know me, I got to get it out there. Can, this week's homework, it said to be, we had to send it to our SSD and to our accountability group. Can our accountability group be this group?
Honestly, I love that idea.
Love that.
Yeah.
My accountability group, I honestly gotta say, I haven't even don't even think that there's even an outside group really going on. Like we initially connected, but that was it. I haven't heard from any of them since then.
And some of them might have dropped out too. So
So,
okay.
Use our group.
I mean, I feel like we're all pretty tight here and we're all getting on a first name basis. And I love that. I think that's going to keep everybody fresh in our heads. And, I just think that you guys are the ones I think to go to right away.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm slacking on a Sunday night and I don't have my homework in, it's Jennifer going, did you do your homework? And that's my friend. She's my friendability and my accountability. So, and then I'm like, oh God, yeah, okay, I'll do it right now. Or I just didn't realize it was that late. And yes, but I mean,
and I'm like already this week, I think on Monday, hey, Sony.
Yeah, she's like, did you do your homework yet? And I'm like, oh man, well, I'll get to that.
I'll tell you what,
to me is just the prep of it and making sure that the format is right. Like I know I'm doing all the things already. Like already, I probably, the homework's like, oh, do one of these things. Well, I already did 5 last week. So picking out how to post it or reintroduce it or repost it is like the stress on me. Like, is the format going to be right? Like, I'm so lame when it comes to Canva. I'm really learning, but man, I am challenged. So I admit I steal everyone's and I let them know I steal them all. But I do go back and reword and make the wording my own. But man, I have challenges. And so I think that a familiar group is way easier to be accountable. I can't even talk this morning. I am still in my car drinking coffee from dropping my kid, you guys. But hey, I'm here.
You know, I had somebody tell me once with this homework that I was overthinking it.
You-
So,
I'm
don't
probably
overthink it
overthinking.
because I was stressing really badly. And then when I really got in to see what the homework was, I was like, that's not that bad.
Yeah,
So, you know,
I'm overthinking. I'm an overthinker. I do.
stop it.
I'm like,
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
do you live here? I want to meet you, all of you. Like, I think I can't wait to meet and have like all of us in the same room because we're all pretty awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And Lindsay's my bigot, man. I tell you what, I love Lindsay. She keeps me going and she'll just
Yeah,
I
we
love you,
do
Linz.
talk outside of the group, so I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That makes me so
So
happy.
can we
Very
get each
cool.
other's phone numbers?
Yeah, drop it.
Because
Oh, I would totally. Yeah, I would love
That
it.
would be amazing.
Okay,
Yeah.
does everybody have an iPhone?
yes.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
Group chat.
I was gonna say group chat until Sony said no, she doesn't have an iPhone.
I have not turned yet. I
Oh,
still
he
am on
doesn't have an
Android, but
iPhone either.
come to the dark side.
I know I'm getting there. I'm very close.
Yeah, but feel free to drop your guys' numbers in our group chat too, so everybody can have them. And I will give you guys my personal number too, because the one that I text you from is my project broadcast number. But I have an iPhone, so if it's easier to like send voice messages or whatever and through an iPhone, you can totally do that too.
Oh, you are brave, Ariel. You're brave.
My husband just drove up and he's looking at me talking to myself in the car. He's like, "What?"
All right, you guys, we have that sale coming up, so I want to make sure to give you guys ample opportunity to prepare for it. But thank
Oh,
you.
I just went and deposited money, so I have some cash to spend.
Love that. I can't wait to see what's in there. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all you do, all you are going to do, all you are willing to do, and your energy is just unmatched. I appreciate you guys.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here and being the head of all of us crazies.
The head crazy of the crazies. I love that. Thank you.
Ariel's crazy train at your disposal.
We are the crazy train. I freaking love it.
Choo-choo. All right, dudes. Happy sales.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.